Hey there, all my fellow traders. It's April 10th, 2014, and today's recap actually is going to be talking about not trading. We had an interesting day in the markets today, which I'll get into shortly. But in fact, the last day or so, I haven't been trading. If you follow me on Twitter, you know that. I've been in cash 100%, and towards the end of the day or the end of the week, I'm actually still going to just take it easy, take a break. Sometimes you just need those times and weeks. So this was one of them for me. In either case, the markets are still kind of doing what we expected in the previous recaps. If you missed those last recaps, check them out. They're in the newsletter. They're also on the website at TRADERSFLY.com, and just watch it. It's exactly the way I mentioned it, pretty much to the T. I mean, the stocks were moving, towards the downside. They've been doing it for weeks, and I continued and mentioned that this trend would go on for a while until things are changing. And today, well, not today, but over the last day or two, I've noticed that things are slightly changing, and this is the time that I don't really care to trade, not to mention I had some personal things, with the house and so forth to take care of, and that's why also I wasn't trading. So I've been working on the book, finishing things up like that, and that should be out shortly. So going into the market and looking into a few stocks, I'm going to do some stuff over here for you guys to recap. I'm not going to do a whole ton of stocks. I'm just going to do a few, and then I'll focus on when is the time to not really trade. Because I had a couple questions. I can't remember from who. I got thousands of people here that follow me, but I think it was Michael that asked, do you trade the small caps now when the big boys and the leaders are moving down? No, and I'll explain why in a second. So let me go in through some charts, and then I'll get into these questions and things in more detail so you can see what I'm talking about. So first off, let me just go into the Dow Jones today, and we actually don't need all these price lines here. Down 267 points. The stock or the Dow Jones, went down a couple days, bounced a couple days, and now it rolled over on heavier movement and momentum. So that's what's going on with the market. This S&P, again, looking at these trend lines, it's really testing those. And I mentioned a couple days ago that, I'm kind of stepping aside and in cash. And the reason I also said that was because of these big guys. These big stocks, the big leaders, the leaders always lead. Why do the leaders lead? Follow the leader, right? When you're in school, grade school, getting lunch, there's a leader. Okay, the leaders go first. Okay, so in here we got the leaders, like the Netflix. They went first. They went first for a few weeks. They went down. And I noticed that they went down for quite some time. This is the trading range. This is the area you play. When it broke this line, this is when you enter and step in. Okay, and I mentioned that it would fill this gap, and this is what it did. And then this is a possibility to watch what's happening. And that's why a few days ago I said, I'm 100% cash. This is a time where they'll either bounce and test maybe around the halfway point and then roll back over, or they'll continue lower. Personally, I hope they continue lower, because then it just allows you to buy things at cheaper prices. Maybe it can get down to here at 280. But this is what they all do. I mean, looking at, even Facebook here as well, continued higher, boom, rolled over. It's a leader because a lot of people are trading it. Okay. Now, the small caps didn't follow. They don't follow because they're behind. The small caps and all the other stocks lag the leaders. Follow the leader in grade school, right? They're always lagging. They're behind. Then they follow. And today, what happened? Everything followed. Okay, so look at this. Google, same thing. Here, we had this line, broke, tried to pop higher, broke again, and now continued lower. 23 points. Price line, same thing. We had this line, broke. For 2-3 weeks we were doing this. We had a little pop here. People get excited. Ooh, a little pop. We got, 20 points. But look, when it broke this, how long was the trend? 200-point run. 200-point run to the downside. Okay, Panera. Talked about this one as well. Boom, broke. Little pop. Doesn't do it. And then it comes back down. Amazon, same thing. Boom, there was the break right here. It was actually in February. Tried to climb higher, okay, broke. Talked about this one. Check the Twitter account. Boom, 45, 47 points. Okay, then it tried for 2 days to go higher. Couldn't do it. Took back those gains in 1 day. Boom, all gone. And now it's going to test this area. So this is when I don't trade. It's when the stocks already went down for so long. Because look at this. Why would you play for a few dollars or $1 or $2 gains on the small caps when right here was a 50-point gain to the downside? And now you want to hope and pray that it'll bounce up? It usually doesn't work, because now you're going to be playing in this range or isolation area right here, and you don't know where it's going to go. So you're going to have to look and see what's going to happen. So instead you sit, you wait, you go to the beach, you take it easy until it drops lower or goes higher and things change. The problem is here we have the 50-day moving average right here. The stock went lower, stock is bouncing lower here, and again, until it reverses on that upside, you can use it as a guide. This stock is pushing towards the downside. We have the heavy volume here, we have a heavy volume bar here, huge selling pressure on a lot of these stocks, not just Amazon, not just Netflix, on a lot of the stocks. And now the small caps are following, and that's why I say, you don't have to trade the small caps now that the leaders have rolled over. No. You don't understand then what's happening. Instead, you're watching the market for these big runs and gains, and this is the time to sit out. If for me, this is the time to sit out. This is what I watch for when I take a break and when I take a pause. Already it went down to 50 points. Price line went down what, 200, 180 points. How much lower do you want it to go? Okay, maybe you want another 20 points, but this is when you be patient. This is when you let the market show you its hand. Google, the same thing here. How much lower do you want it to go? 37 points here was the downside. Apple even, hitting some breaking areas right here. This one's not a leader too much anymore, but still $9 after that break, or if you took it here from the top side, $20. And then we have the Facebook, even from here for a Facebook stock, $10. It erased these gains in a couple weeks. So the downside's always faster. And again, Netflix, one of the best wins of the year right here to the downside, 94, 95 points. So now you're waiting right here. You're waiting. Of course, they're trying to push it higher right here. And then they might try and push it up to here, but then it'll probably roll back over. So this is why you sit and wait. This is when I don't trade. If you do want to trade, you can trade the ETFs like the TZA, like the 3 times ETFs like the bears. So there's a bunch of them. You can look them up. I'm going to try and put a bunch on the website. SDS is another good one. They'll move higher when the market goes lower, but these things whipsaw around and you don't hold them overnight. These are just day trades. So they're not anything great or amazing to trade, but give you some ideas or concepts here, as far as the market goes. So just wanted to talk a few about those stocks. I do want to talk about DDD. I had somebody request this. So if you have stocks you want me to take a look at, just send me a tweet. And I like the Twitter concept better because then I can just look right before I do the videos and see which ones I need to recap. But actually, I did trade DDD for quite a few months from 2013 about. And this stock has had a pretty good run. So if you take a look at it here on this scope, on this line, it broke this line and trend line here on the weekly. We had a nice parabolic move here to the upside, but it's very parabolic, and when these things happen they usually come down. Parabolic means it's a little too fast for its own good. The engine blows and then it rolls back over. So that's kind of what happened. So here was our trend line right there. It broke, and now we're moving lower. Now there are some support areas that will come up, but right now the market's not at a healthy point. In my opinion. I mean, just look at the stocks, look at the charts. Right here, we had a nice support level on DDD, breaking lower. So where would be a good buy area? Maybe 40 if you can get it there, or maybe even $30 if you're looking to buy the stock. And the person that asked, they said, many recommended by analysts. Yeah, you know why they recommend it, right? Well, because they were trying to sell it all right here and they couldn't get out. They got millions of dollars in here and they might be paid off by somebody to do some analyst stuff. Not always, not all of them. But the game is played in a unique way. People will talk and say, hey, you need to buy the stock. And the reason is because they didn't sell all of it back here. They didn't sell all of it back here. They want to pump it now higher, hoping it gets to 60, 65, So they want it up another 10 points if they can, or 20 if they can, because they didn't get out of their positions. So, no, be patient. There's no reason to jump in, be the first one in. Look at this trend line right here. Hitting it once in this area, bunch of times here. Look, taking it out to the weekly. Look how that lines up. Okay? Look how that goes exactly the way it is. Okay? Even moving it up here. Tesla, very similar concept. We're looking at the weekly, try to take it higher in the week, moving lower. They push it down, they hammer it. Okay, right here. Here's a point, here's a point. It's not going to line up perfect. It's not going to be perfect. It's like meeting someone at a restaurant that I always say. Tell them at 6 o'clock, you're going to be there. Not going to be 6 o'clock. You might show up at 5:55. They might show up at 6:01. And then where at the restaurant? Is it going to be at a table? Is it going to be at a booth? Is it going to be outside the restaurant? So it won't line up perfect. But this is your little range or area right here. Okay, or in a better world, let's do this. So we'll take a little rectangle here. Okay, so this is the range. That's what you're kind of looking at. So watch these range areas and see whether they bounce or don't. And because the stocks have been going down and now they're hitting these critical points, that's when you sit out. This is when you wait and you be patient on which direction are they going to go. Because like I said, how much lower can they go? Like this Netflix, how much lower can it really go? I mean, it can go lower. It can. I'm not saying it won't. I'm saying you need to be patient to see what it tells you. If you didn't trade it up here and sold it short, and you're trying to now get short now, this is not the time. Or maybe nibble 10% of what you really think, because you need to be careful. It already had a huge run, and these stocks will whipsaw you. They will pop up very quickly. They will pop up, up to 380 to test the 380. Why? Because the gap right there, the 380 gap, they will test it. And then they might go back lower, and you got in trying to buy it to go higher, and they just continue lower again. So that's how they psych you out. That's how they fake you out. So you have to be extremely careful. Okay, I had another one that somebody wanted me to look at, SCLA. I looked at this one briefly, and looking at the weekly, I don't normally like to buy fresh or new stocks. It's kind of like buying Facebook when it's brand new. If we look at the weekly, you can see it started here, descending trend line, and then it popped. It took about a year, and then it popped higher for it to consolidate. So even looking at Groupon, how do you spell this? Groupon, GRPN. Look at it. Starts high, comes down. Fresh stocks. Always got to be careful. It's $7. I mean, I love the website. You get some great deals. You have some fun with it. But stock wise, you got to be careful. And looking at this one on the weekly, we kind of started around here in this range or area, and now we went up to the upside. So what do you kind of see? Well, looking at it, here we go. We got this line right here. It broke. Here's a cup, and here's our handle. So let me see if I can draw this for you here. Here we go. Here's a cup for the person that requested it. There's our handle, if you read the books. Okay, see that? There's the cup. Cup, handle, pop. And our second pop was right here. So it looks okay. It looks okay. If you got in it early, I don't know when you got in it. You need to look at your own account. And if you got in it, back here, fine. Use maybe something over here as your stop, but you should be peeling some off. But this is the weekly. So if we look at it here, This is our area, and it hit it. It's testing it right there. It's testing that region, but this would be my get out point. If it drops below 36.99, let's say 36.85, give it a little wiggle room, you're out like trout. So but right now it's holding up. I wouldn't buy it here. It's not giving me a buy signal like over here. It gave me a buy signal. Right now it's not giving me a buy signal. I would wait. So so looking at it that way, that's what you have to study and look at where the stock's been, on the monthly, the weekly, and then take it out to the daily and see what's happening, and then make your decisions. But overall on the market, that's kind of my thinking is just, be cautious at these levels. We've been going down for a while, and usually there is a bounce that happens when you go for a little while like this down. The small caps might follow a little bit more lower to the downside, but you got to watch the leaders and see if they reverse or don't reverse. So that's my quick opinion. Like I said, 100% cash right now for me. Even CMG here lower again, gonna try and fill the gap. That's what they're doing. They're getting sucked into these gaps and areas that were doing well before. So trade them well. Like I said, I'm in cash. I'm sitting out this week, just kind of getting my head cleared, as well as working on the book, the material. I'm planning another course for you guys. So I'm just doing some of the other fun activities in my book is what I like to do for fun. Do some running, go to the beach, play some golf, go do some fun activities. Because the market at these areas can whipsaw you around, because what we'll do is they'll go up 3-4 days and they'll fake you out, and then they'll roll back over and go even lower. Okay, so you see how that works? That's kind of what happens is it really fakes you out. They'll go up a couple days and then they'll roll over beyond that. They'll go up a couple days and now boom, they'll roll over. Look at Facebook. Okay, they'll go up, a roll over, now again, boom, up, and now it's rolling over. Look at this bar right here. We went up higher and it sucked it in. It's a bigger bar on heavier volume to the downside. So that's why I say this market, you can trade it. It's a tradable market, and it's a day trader's dream because you can get in and out. But if you did play the earlier trades that I told you, the easy pickings, this is like fruit on your table. Just go in and grab it right here. Boom, you get in. Even if you got in late to the party, you got in right here. Okay, let's just say you got in late. That's a 60-point gain to the downside. Oh, well, why are you going to chase now the $1 or $2 gains? Why? It makes no sense. So in either case, right now is the time to just be patient, learn some patience, go do some yoga, take it easy, and the market will show you when it's ready, and you will see when the time is right to get in more to the short side or to go to the upside. But for now, just take a break, take it easy, spend some time with your family, and have some fun living your life. All right, next week we'll see what happens. I'll keep you informed. Try and make some new tutorial videos. Like I said, the book is coming soon, probably another week or two, and working some good things as well for the website and other stuff like that. So keep an eye out. Remember, do what you love, contribute and help other people out, and most importantly, go out and live your life abundantly. All right, thanks again, and I look forward to hearing from you from Twitter and YouTube and all the comments. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, and talk to you soon. Thanks.